I'm Mike Micalizzi, Director of Technical Services here at Custom Building Products. And I'd like to welcome you to the Custom Technical University and our top 5 tips for properly installing glass tiles. As you know, the use of glass tile continues to gain popularity in both residential and commercial projects. Once only used exclusively as an accent, these tiles are now being used to cover much wider areas. And, as you can see, they're growing much larger in format. As a result, new standards and new setting products have been developed to address the unique needs of installing glass tile. For example, a new standard, ANSI 137.2, identifies the 3 different types of glass tile: cast glass tile, fused glass tile, and low temperature coated glass tile. It also defines what a large format glass tile is, that is, any with dimensions greater than 3 inches by 3 inches. The following tips will help ensure a successful glass tile installation. Tip number 1, surface preparation is key. As with any adhered installation, your bond is only as good as what you bond to. It can't be emphasized enough that the surface must be sound, stable, and free from contaminants, especially dust. And if you're installing over wood-framed or steel stud walls, they will most likely require additional blocking to resist deflection and impact. Glass is a very fragile finish and needs additional support to resist cracking. When you're installing over wood joists, a non-bonded, wire-reinforced mortar bed would be the best method to add rigidity to the substrate. Another issue to consider is for transparent and translucent tiles. Variations in the substrate's color or absorption rate can show differences through the tile. If patching is required, patch the entire surface and allow it to dry sufficiently before installing tile. In a moment, we'll be talking about movement joints. Consider these joints as part of your prep work and be sure to install them in accordance with the local building codes and the ANSI and TCNA guidelines. Refer to TCNA EJ 171 and use this detail along with commercial 100% silicone caulk or another approved material to fill these expansion joints. Tip number 2. Choose the appropriate thin set and use it correctly. Glass tile has become a very desirable material for designers and homeowners. They want the clean, transparent, and vibrant look of glass. When these tiles are clear or transparent, and especially when they're smooth, they pose additional installation challenges. The new standard specifically for glass tile, ANSI 137.2, recommends the use of a high-performing thin-set mortar meeting the requirements of ANSI 118.4, but with a bond strength to porcelain greater than 400 psi. Because glass tile has a smooth surface, it's important to use a premium, high-performance thin-set mortar, which has a higher polymer content to achieve a strong chemical bond. To install these glass tiles, particularly some of these larger ones, Custom Building Products has filled the need with custom glass tile premium thin-set mortar. When setting traditional ceramic tile, the color of a thin-set mortar is generally not a concern. However, with transparent or translucent glass, the mortar is seen right through the tile. If the color varies in the mortar, so does the shade of the glass tile. To help eliminate variations across an installation of glass tile, Custom Building Products Glass Tile Premium Thin-Set Mortar comes in a very bright white color. This color is controlled to a consistent standard, just as a grout. In large installations that could use multiple lots of mortar, this helps eliminate variations that might be seen through the glass. The mortar's bright white color enhances the color of the transparent or translucent glass tile. In a typical ceramic tile installation, you spread a thin-set mortar on the surface with a notch trowel, pressing the ceramic tile into the mortar with a back and forth motion. This sliding motion helps to collapse the ridges and improve the contact between the tile and the thin-set mortar. The industry standard is to achieve contact to at least 80% of the back of the tile. Unfortunately, this can leave many voids in the mortar behind the tile. It's not normally a problem for ceramic tile, but these voids are visible through transparent or translucent glass. Air pockets or voids in ordinary mortar are also randomly distributed throughout the installation and can cause a distraction from the beauty of the glass. To avoid air spaces behind the tile, The proper installation method is to trowel the specifically formulated glass tile thin-set mortar on the substrate with a notch trowel, but this time knock down the ridges. Then spread or back butter an even thin film about 1/16 of an inch thick onto the back of the clear glass tile. These two mortared surfaces are pressed together with a back and forth motion to eliminate any voids. We all know that cement-based mortars will naturally shrink and sag. Although bonded, there can be some unsightly voids behind the glass. Custom's glass tile premium thin-set mortar was formulated to resist shrinkage and sagging. It's also easy to spread, helping to create a very smooth appearance behind the glass tiles. Tip number 3, select the right grout for glass tile. After your thin-set is fully set, you're now ready to start grouting. The acceptable type of grout may vary, so check the manufacturer's directions and recommendations, specifically for opacity and exposure to water. Be sure the grout you choose will not scratch the surface of the glass, and after grouting, if you leave any grout haze on the surface, assure any cleaners you use are approved for use over glass. You always want to prepare a small mock-up and test the materials. A great suggestion is the use of Custom's Fusion Pro single component grout. It offers the ultimate in color consistency, crack resistance, and stain protection. It never needs to be sealed. Always read the installation directions for all products used to be assured of a successful installation. Tip number 4, always install movement joints. When failures occur in glass tile installations, they are typically due to expansion from exposure to heat, either from sunlight or from steam. The coefficient of thermal expansion and physical strengths of glass tile are very different from porcelain tile or concrete. High-performance thin-set mortars and grouts will absorb some of this movement. However, it's more critical with glass tile to incorporate soft movement joints in the assembly. This will allow space for the tile to expand as it's heated and help prevent cracking of the glass from compression. The TCNA movement joint placement guidelines in EJ 171 in our TCNA handbook should be followed. Movement joints should be placed at least 8 feet in all directions. And you want to use a sealant meeting the requirements of ASTM C920, such as Custom's commercial 100% silicone caulk. Tip number 5, ensure your glass tile meets the ANSI A137.2 standard. You should be aware that there are a large number of glass tiles available through small boutique manufacturers, and these may not always meet the requirements of ANSI 137.2. It's important that each of these tiles are assessed for suitability. Additionally, not all glass tiles created equal. Some are more sensitive than others for the specific installation demands you may have. For example, cast and fused, along with plate or tempered glass, each has different internal stresses from the manufacturing processes. Backings, such as metallic or painted options, are not compatible with cement-based thin-set mortars. The alkali in the cement can react with these backings in wet environments and loosen the bond's mortar to the glass tile. Any glass tile that does not conform to ANSI A137.2 should be tested in advance with a desired thin-set mortar. Additionally, there are some mosaic glass tiles that are mounted on a mesh to simplify their installation. It's important to assure that the adhesive used to hold the mesh on the back of the tiles will resist water and be compatible with the cement mortar used. Many times the mesh is not well bonded, and this can result in tiles coming loose during the installation. So before you begin, check to see that your tile meets the new standard. So in closing, glass tile installations are a thing of beauty, and when set properly with the right materials, they'll last a lifetime. So don't cut corners on prep or installation, and remember, use a mortar designed specifically for this distinctive category of tile. We want to thank you for joining us, and stay tuned for the next edition of Custom's Top 5 Tips.